Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the They Them Tarot. It's by Renata Lechner. There's that. And the supportive oracle cards are by Lucy Cavendish. They're the magical spell cards. Alright, relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where necessary. Sagittarius. Definitely Sagittarius. See how this plays out. I think this goes all the way the whole time. Okay. Destiny is at the bottom here. Destiny is telling me this is somewhere you were meant to be, and where you're going forward through something that is meant to happen. This is very purposeful. It's important for both people. It's playing out in a certain way for a certain reason that you may not know until further on down the road. Now, this card Harvest is also, I'm feeling like it pulls across your whole line. So I feel like you're coming to a spot where you're actually kind of like gathering what you've worked on, and you're seeing the benefit. You're coming forward. The harvest isn't really like the completion, in my opinion. And I'm saying that, like, you know, you plant the seeds, they grow, then you pick what they are. But typically at this part, the harvest part, like if I'm thinking about October, you're gathering everything that's grown for the year, and then you're storing the majority of it so that it'll sustain you throughout the winter. That's how I view harvest. Definitely, you can harvest can be a smaller situation where you harvest per meal, but still, it's like an ongoing process. This is saying you have a lot, you've gained a lot, but what you've already accumulated and grown is going to sustain you for the months ahead. Because that's what I'm feeling with this card. That's what you're going through right now. You've gained and accumulated a lot that's going to pull you through the next section, the winter period, the harder times. The harder times? The harder times. So let's see what that means. Now, your challenge card is the High Priestess. Now, is this... See it as a benefit to balance things out. That everything that's good has a bad side, and everything that's bad has a good side. Very yin-yang feeling here. The challenge is not to be held down by the negative, but to realize, you know, everything ebbs and flows. There's good times and bad times. And I feel like you are going into a rougher time. And I'm seeing that as a sense of, like, it's just the current phase. Like, it's like you're coming down from a good time, it's going into a rougher time, but it all passes. Sooner or later it all passes, and you will come back to a good time again. And I feel like that's the challenge card of the High Priestess, to realize, and you've seen this throughout your life, like, things go really good in a certain way for a while, and then they just don't seem as good for a while. So it kind of like it ebbs and flows is kind of what I'm getting. And you're kind of going into a rougher period, and I'm trying to find another way to say that. It's kind of annoying that I have to keep saying that, but you will make it through this is the point, and there's something better for you on the other side. I just feel like it's a little pessimistic because it feels like you're just getting ready to dive into it, quite frankly. And I feel like where you're standing is the Two of Pentacles. You're seeing it, but you're trying to decide how to handle it. And I feel like you're trying to find a way around it, which is a very smart thing in my opinion. Like, if you see something as rough and there's a way around it, I understand why you'd want to see if there's a way around it. But I'm also seeing you're having a different opinion at the same time. You're like, I would like to find a way around this because I don't want it to get rough. But this other side is saying, if you don't go in and deal with it, just dive into this more difficult situation, it's just going to persist. And you're gonna, it could become a bigger problem later, and it's better to handle it now. Because I'm trying to look at this in the sense of you and your partner, because your partner's already involved, trying to fix or trying to handle what's going on. I'm getting you're trying to be very careful on how you react and involve yourself to it. You're trying to look at this like, I want to add support. I want to make it better, but you're worried like your effect on the situation might be more negative than positive. And it's not about, you're not trying to do that, but it's just the way you're seeing things, the way things should go, as opposed to the way things are going, aren't the same. And you're like, certain things here need to be handled. If I get too deeply involved, there's just certain things I'm not going to stand for, and they will correct, and that could be where this rough time really starts happening. Is that right? Okay. Now, I do see you going forward. I do see you getting involved. And I'm getting a couple of cards here that are telling me, like, you got the Ace of Pentacles in your spiritual position. You got the Empress here and what's going on. Which the Empress and, it's funny, the High Priestess and the Empress I often think of as like best friends. They get along very well, and they seem to have the same mindset going forward, usually. Usually. But I'm getting like, the Empress here feels more optimistic in this case than the High Priestess, because I'm getting the Mermaid Seduction right below it, and you're kind of like, things need to happen, things will be rough for a second, but it won't last that long, and we'll make it through this, and things will get better. And you got the Ace of Pentacles, like, and these changes need to happen, and I'm going to make sure they happen, and they're going to stay. They're going to stick. Certain things can't be allowed, there's certain things need to be corrected, and I will correct them, and they'll be fine. People won't like it at first, but they'll get over it, and it will be better in the long run. I'm getting a very, very optimistic outlook here. Very, very optimistic outlook. But the challenge card is, it's like the Empress's best friend here, the High Priestess, is saying, listen, it's not going to be all sunshine and roses. You're thinking it's just going to be rough for a short period. It's probably going to be rough for a lot longer than that. You're going to have to fight to balance this out. And I feel like it's like best friends talking. This other friend is saying, listen, don't get overly optimistic. Prepare. Keep yourself together. Make sure you have time to de-stress, because this is going to last longer than you think. And because I'm getting, when you finally take that step forward, it's almost like you're holding back. You're wondering, should I? What should I? Is it good? Is it not? And then you just make the decision to get involved, and it's like, boom, all in. 8 of Wands, prosperity. You have the best of intentions, and I feel like that's going to pay off. But I'm getting, in the future, I have to be honest, it's coming through like you're overly optimistic, like it's not going to last as long as it's going to, which there might be a reason for that, because you got the prosperity here with the 8 of Wands. You're making a very strong, a very positive impact to start, but I'm getting like, this is going to take some work. This is going to go on for a while. This is going to be a period of time. And I feel like that's one of the reasons they keep bringing that back, so you realize this is going to be a time, like a period of time. This isn't going to be like in and done. This isn't going to be a couple weeks. This isn't going to be a couple months. It's probably going to be more than a couple months. It's probably going to be most of the year. Most of the year. Now, you're going forward. And I know that your partner's been trying to work this out. They've been trying to handle it, whatever. But when you get involved, I feel like you're kind of usurping them. And the first thing I feel is the 9 of Swords, where they're feeling defeated. They're feeling. I'm getting the defeat feel with this time. It's not really going to devastation as much as defeat, because what they were doing wasn't really. It was like prolonging the situation. What you're doing is changing it and actually making it improve, trying to get things better. And I'm feeling like part of this, you knew your partner was going to be upset about this, but is necessary because it's not working, and you're looking at it like it has to change. I'm also getting that the challenge card here is the Tower for your partner, and it's also coming in with this defeat. Like they might, it's depending on your partner, depending on your situation, but to some degree they're going to feel defeated. To some degree they're going to like feel like things are breaking down. How much of a shock this is, like, I don't feel like it's a shock that you're getting involved. I feel like it's a shock of how much this is changing. And the challenge card here for them is to not get stuck in the destruction element of the Tower card. the challenge for them is to accept like the tower is destroyed or is falling apart, and for them to not try to save the tower. That's the challenge card with them. Okay, let's center on this for a second. For your partner, the challenge with the tower, because what I'm visualizing here is somebody dealing with this tower, desperately trying to save it, trying to like put band-aids or fix it or hold this up or trying to repair it before it completely falls down. The tower is going down. And the challenge card for your partner is to not try to fight against it. The sooner they accept the tower is coming down and let it fall, the sooner it can rebuild. And I feel like they're putting a lot of effort in trying to keep the situation the same when they really just need to let it fall and let it rebuild from scratch. Because I feel like you're the rebuilder. They need to just kind of go along with you at this point, which might not be as easy as said. Might not be as easy done as said, but I am getting like some of them are fighting that, very much fighting that, and they just that's why that's the challenge card. They pretty much have to accept defeat, and then they can rebuild. Pretty much you're the one rebuilding. They're a supportive element to that, is what I'm getting. All right. Now, I do get you're involved, you're pushing forward, the tower card is happening. When that tower is finished falling, see now I feel like this is really a big deal here. You go in, you do what you feel you need to do. All good, cool. Well, you know. The tower falls. Sooner or later that tower's falling where it's not, the way it was going is not happening anymore. Okay. So the tower it's down. That's where your partner, in the spiritual sense, gets the Queen of Swords, which don't get caught up in the gender. Like I always saw, with all these cards, don't get caught up in the gender, especially with a general read. But what I'm getting is like the strength of this person, knowing what they have an emotional connection here. They have concern, they look out for others, they do. And I'm feeling like they're communicating very strongly, I'm getting the word harshly about how certain things can't completely be abolished. They can't be completely wiped away. And I'm getting, they're coming forward to you and they are very strongly pushing about how this tower will be rebuilt. Very strongly. And I'm getting this whole feeling here, the tower, I feel like they're realizing the tower will not be rebuilt the same way it was. And they got the world here. It's almost like it was a brick tower and now it's going to be a wooden tower with some other things on it. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be very strong, but it's going to serve a certain purpose for a certain reason. The brick was too heavy. It was not reliable. It was too restrictive. The wood is more giving, you can do more with it. Like things are definitely going to be built differently. Like I'm using brick and wood as an analogy. I think y'all know that. Because they're communicating very strongly, but they're standing in the spot of the world. They realize this is going to stick for a while. They do realize it's not going to be what it was, but it's going to stick for a while, the new changes that come in. And they're communicating that very strongly about how they feel. This can't be completely wiped away. I realize that wasn't working, but something has to be done with this. Maybe not handled the same way, but it still has to be handled. They're pushing forward very strongly. Now, this is the hard energy, it figures. What makes things better, which ironically is hard energy, you got the Two of Swords, which is telling me you end up at a standstill because there's a negotiation period here. I feel like this is hard because you're like, listen, we can't just leave things lying around. We got to pick them up and we got to clean up and we got to start building. And the partner you're dealing with is kind of like, I know that, but why clean everything up and pick it up and put it over here when it needs to go over there? But we don't know if that's where it has to go. We don't know if it has to go there. We have to pick it up a certain way. We have to rebuild it a certain way. You were successful at knocking my tower down, and it needed to fall down, and I get that. But we got to rebuild it. We have to clean up correctly, and we got to rebuild. We're going to have to use some materials over again. but I realize we can't use all the materials over again. So it's going to take a minute. We're going to have to rebuild this a certain way. And I feel like you're at this standstill. You're just kind of like, I just want to do. I don't want to sit here and just think about it and talk about it. I want to do. And I feel like that's actually helping because you're very invested here, very invested. And you have that drive to move forward. You have the ambition to actually do. And I feel like the communication here is like you're feeling like it's like paralysis by analysis is how you're feeling. Like we're just talking this to death. We need to do something. We need to do something. And your partner's pushing back like we are going to do something, but we need to talk this through. I need to... you were right. The tower needed to come down, and you helped push it down. You pushed my tower down. Yes. I get that, and you were right for that, but I don't want to keep falling down. I need this to rebuild as strongly as possible with different materials. With materials I didn't think were as strong, but fit the situation as much better than it did. So it's going to take me a minute here to get this together. You holding back and going through that stagnant period actually serves the situation very well. Because I'm getting like, you got 4 cards for your partner. You got the Hierophant, you got the Queen of Wands, which don't get caught up in the gender, like I said before. You got the Safe Home Protection and the Health. You successfully knocked down their tower, which needed to come down. But now they're like, all right, we got the Hierophant here. Certain things have to stay the same. But you got the Queen of Wands here saying certain things need to change. So you got them in that spot where they realize certain things need to change. So they're working very diligently to hold on to what they feel must be held on to, but change things that are no longer valid, things that are outdated. And you got the home safe protection and the health card here. They're definitely going through this in a sense of like they're looking out for as many people as possible. You're very important to them. They're thinking about you too. But they're reconstituting this in a way that's going to last and could be good for everybody. They have the health and the safe home protection here. Like they need you to be happy. They need to be happy. The situation needs to have sustainability. Is that even a word? Needs to be able to be sustained. There we go. So they're definitely moving forward. They got the Queen energy there of Wands, so they are moving forward, but they're very diligent about things have to be put together in a way that's very secure, that's very dependable, that's good for everybody, so that way nobody wants to push over the tower next time. Nobody even wants to push over the tower, so it's strong enough to stand on its own, but nobody wants to push it over, so they're feeling a lot more secure with it. And I feel like this is kind of where this is ending. Because I feel like your partner has to hash this out, figure out, like they're hashing it out with you a bit. I really feel like you're more in the energy of like, I just want to do something. But you're working it out with them. I feel like you're kind of like, almost like that sideline advisor. Your partner's like, this is what we should do, this is what we should do. And you're like, wait. Ooh, and it's rough energy. Every time I come over to this card, it's rough. Your partner's pushing forth information about what they feel should happen. It's rough here. And they're like, this, and that. And you're like, well, that's too much like that was before. I don't think this is going to work. That sounds good. Because I feel like you're like a sideline advisor. I got to be honest. I feel like you're saying, like, okay, that sounds good. That does not sound good. I think you need to think that through a little bit more. That might have some possibility, but that's not going to work exactly how you're thinking about it just now. Which is another, it's interesting because you got this Two of Swords, like, you do want to move forward, but your partner's bringing forth ideas, and you're like, well, yeah, no, fix that. Well, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, no, well, I don't want to go back. That's kind of what it was. We can't do that again. So I feel like this is part of the Two of Swords energy for you. Like, you physically want to do something, but the information coming towards you, you're like, no, can't do that. That, maybe. That, you got to think that through a little more. That's too much like it was. Like, I feel like you have to keep, like, doing that sideline advisor, like, that doesn't seem like it's going in the right direction. Let's keep going. Let's think that through a little deeper. Like, you want to move forward, but what your partner's going through and how they're thinking things through, you're working with them, but I still feel like you can't move forward because you're like, what they're bringing towards you, you're like, I don't want to do that. Let's think this through a little more. You are participating in bringing ideas forward, but I feel like the way it's going is like, your partner definitely has to agree to it, But what they want, you have to keep like trying to consider like what's actually going to happen. Like you don't want to just do something to do it. You want to do something for long-term success as well. And I feel like you constantly have to go through this thought process, and you have to keep thinking through what they're bringing towards you. I feel like you're getting frustrated with it because again, you just want to do something, but what's coming towards you, you're like, well, that's not going to work. That's too rickety. That's not gonna stand. And like you have to keep thinking things through. You have to keep hashing it out with your partner. And I feel like that's the hard energy. You're just like, oh my God, we just keep going over possibilities and possibilities and possibilities. When are we going to actually do it? And I feel like that's where you're at. That's where this is leaving. I have to be honest. Like, that's where this reading is ending. It will get to a point where something happens, but I feel like it's kind of a drawn-out process. I feel like maybe to you at least it's a drawn-out process. Different people would have different views on that, I'm sure. But the way it's feeling from your side, it's heavy, and you're just like, am I going to spend the rest of my life just trying to think about what to do next, or am I going to actually do it? I feel like we're just kind of in a circle here, so I'm going to let this go. All right, so let's let this go. So that's Sagittarius relationship. Are we good? Is there anything else here? I think it's good. Because like you're going forward to another area. But like I feel like you have to hash it out with your partner. It just seems like it goes on. It goes on. But it's going to have a good result. It's just not your... I just don't feel like it's your favorite part of the situation. How's that? Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Let's do Sagittarius singles. Messages for single Sagittarians, empowering information that help them see what's actually happening and help them move in a direction they want to go. Strengthen them and help them find what they want. Got a fire card at the top. I like that. Temperance is at the bottom. Temperance is at the bottom. I feel like they're warning you right from the get-go. Take your time. Go slow. Don't move too forward ahead too quickly. The term "pay it forward" is coming in. I'll be honest. I'm not really connecting with why they're doing that, but pay it forward. Like, is pay it forward kind of like when you do something nice for somebody before somebody does something nice for you? Just because you know something nice will come for you later. Is that how that works? I'm not even sure. I never did watch that movie. One day. I'm getting that pay it forward feel here, though. They keep pushing that term, pay it forward, term or phrase, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Now, that's it? Okay. Well, we got one oracle card. It's a really good one. It's like, I would say it was one of the best ones. Now, I have to say, the environment I feel very, very good with. But I think what the challenge here is, because I feel Sagittarius is a fire sign. They're usually very active. They usually get things done. They move. That's how, especially Sagittarius, they seem to go. And there's a strong feeling of earth here. We have 4 cards, 4 earth cards. I'm feeling that's the challenge. You also have the Hanged Man at the bottom, but you have some really other good cards here too. Got one other card that maybe you don't care for, but we'll get to that. I'm trying to pull in like where we want to start. And I feel like we've already started with the Page of Wands at the top. You're kind of going on your own momentum. Now, I feel like this is interesting. You know what you want. You know what? It's not who, but it's what. You know the type of relationship you're looking for. You know what you're looking for in that sense. The type of person, the type of life, that you know what you want. But the person that's matching that's another thing. Because I'm not feeling that person close enough at this point. But with the Page of Wands, it's like you're ready to move forward. You're ready to find this person. Really? The hard energy already? Because you're waiting. You're waiting. You know you're going to find what you want. You got the Justice card. What you want, what you've decided you want, you know what it is. And you've already decided you will find it. And I believe the Justice card standing here and where you're standing, the Justice card showing up where you're standing is saying, it will work out. Sooner or later, I'll find what I'm looking for. So you feel empowered in that sense. It is taking a while. Because your thoughts are like the Two of Wands. I'm ready to get this journey going. I'm ready to kick this forward and get going. Like, let's get this ball rolling. If I could just find this person and just start this, I'm ready. Like, I know they're out there. Where are they? How long? I'm going to find them sooner or later, but where are you? Him, her, they, whatever it is. Whatever the person is. You're like, I will find this person. You're ready to start now. But the bottom card is the Hanged Man. It's just like, you're not finding what you're looking for. That's what I'm getting. You're not finding them, but you know they're out there. And I'm getting, the past is the Queen of Pentacles. Snow falling off my window there. That's fun. The past is the Queen of Pentacles. The future is the King of Pentacles. And right now in the center, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I don't know if you're realizing, but if you're not, I'll tell you. These are all Earth cards. Earth is not, you don't move Earth quickly. You don't move a mountain. A mountain moves on its own very, very slowly. So slowly that generations go by before it moves an inch, I believe, or so. I don't know how that works. Is it generations? Something like that. But it's basically, I feel like that's the point here. Like, this is taking so long. Something very stable is building, though, and it's going that direction. It's getting stronger and stronger. And the environment is very conducive with you. I get that. But I'm getting, like, even though you have a lot of security, you're very strong, you're very stable, you know what you're looking for, you're sticking to that. I'm getting, like, the Seven of Swords is, like, if somebody doesn't match what you're looking for, you may like them, but you're walking away from them. If they're not matching, you're not investing in. If you're having those romantic feelings, but you're thinking, well, all right, I like them. I'm having that romantic spark happen there. But their life, I just don't see that going well for me. For whatever reason, you're just like, I don't feel like their life is going to go well for me. And you're walking away. Wow, so much heavy energy with that. Not so much isn't like you're overwhelmed, but just like, I feel like it's repetitious. You're finding people you like, but they're not matching what you want. And I feel like you're walking away because you're like, I've gone through this before. I fall for somebody, and their life is difficult, or there's things that don't match, and then it's just no good. It just doesn't work. And it's just it's like it becomes a landmine that just finally goes off, and it's over. And I don't want that. And I feel like, just in case this is coming across wrong, one of the reasons you're walking away from these people is because I don't want something just for now. I don't want to get involved with somebody that I know it's not going to work out with. I know it's not. So instead of like investing in somebody, going along, trying to make it work out, and then there goes the bomb and it's over, I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to start really getting invested in somebody until I find that one that I want. Are we good? All right. So we did all the Earth in the center. So, and you got the Hanged Man at the bottom, which I think I said, which is just a transition period. It's nobody lives in that card. They just spend some time in there, sometimes longer than they like. It's kind of like, even though there's no desert imagery on there, it's kind of like the desert period. You're walking through the desert. You're just really thirsty. You're waiting to get through this, but it's like, it's taking forever. Now, I am seeing here in your environment the Sun card. So what you want is around you. I'm kind of feeling what you want is already around you. It just has yet to show itself. Now, either you don't know this person well enough, or what you've already seen of this person has been a little misleading, one way or another. Because I'm getting what you want is already around you, and what you want is already attracted to you. But it hasn't really come forward to you. And I'm getting there's a reason for this. Like, they're slowly getting to know you. But I feel like you actually are getting to know this person. But it seems like it's more of a friendship to you. You're not considering this as a relationship potential. And I'm getting this is really, really good because it's slowly coming forward. It's slowly coming forward. Like they're saying again with the temperance, like pace yourself. This is going to take a while because what you want is there, but it's not going to happen quickly. It's slowly coming forward. It's slowly coming forward. So I'm getting this energy is around you. It's watching you. It's slowly getting to know you. It feels like a friendship. You're not considering this person as a romantic possibility. They are considering you. They're considering you very quietly. And quietly in the respect of like the information is not coming to you and you're not catching on to it. Excuse me. Now, I'm getting this seems to go forward in a weird sense. It feels weird to me because you got like a trio of cards here that's really interesting how this happens. Because I feel like there's a series of events that kind of play out. I don't feel like this is one moment, but I feel like it's like a domino effect, if you will. I get the Five of Cups there is where what leads into it, the first card. The first card is the 5. And I'm getting this person wants more from you and is trying to get your attention, trying to get something, more of an emotional response from you, I feel. The 5 of Cups is making me feel like they want this emotional response. They want to see if you're emotionally open to them. And I feel like they're coming towards you, they're trying to get your attention, they're trying to get you to give to them a little more. It then transitions into the Devil card. Which I feel like this is a weird, really strange moment. Because that Devil card can be very interesting. People tend to fear this card. But it comes through in a lot of different shades. It doesn't have to be... Like, I've seen this card come through... I'm trying to find a delicate way to put this. Like, this can be a physical moment that's purely animalistic. I don't know if this makes sense. It could be just a sexual moment is what I'm trying to get to. I guess Koi's not going to work. Like, literally, this could be just two people coming together for sexual gratification, and there's nothing beyond that. But it's like this person comes towards you, they want more from you. Something happens between the two of you, but it's weird, because this is why this feels so weird to me. It's not bad, like, nobody's getting upset with anybody, but I feel like somebody, like, people are going through things, or people are giving in to the other, almost just to shut them up. Like, just kind of like, oh, alright, I guess, whatever. Because the Devil card is making me feel like there's no emotional connection at this point. Like, there's no looking out for each other. There's, like, what I want. Like, the Devil is, like, a what I want feel. It's a very, this benefits me, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do because it helps me, it's for me. Me. But I'm not feeling anybody get mad at anybody else. I just feel like nobody's looking out for the other. It's weird. Especially when, like, the other side is coming forward to you. They want more, they want more, they want more. And I feel like there's, like, they're getting what they want, and you're allowing it, but it's just kind of like, it is what it is. But that's where it gets really strange to me, because the card coming after it, which I think you saw, is the Knight of Cups. After this, whatever happens here, which could be just a physical moment, it's like after effect. The after effect is like, you know what? It's like a day or two later, and you're just kind of like thinking, like, you know what? Huh. Who do you, or the other person comes towards you and they want to be with you? I just don't, like, that Devil card makes me feel like there's not really a love connection there. It feels more physical. But afterwards, I feel like you're actually more impressed than you expected to be. And this person is coming forward with you with the offer of love. They would like to be in a relationship with you. They're making it flat out obvious. They're not mincing words. They're just like, this is what I'd like to do. This is why. We clearly get along. You're seeing something here you didn't see before. That offer of love comes towards you, and I feel like you accept it. And in the environment, this is the one oracle card you got. It's in the environment. That's the other person coming at you with the Ace of Wands and the Victory. They seem to be getting what they want, and they're coming forward very strongly about it. And I feel like you like that, and you're going for it. The Devil card is also telling me here that you might be like looking like this person lacks what you need. This is another version, I get that. I mean, it's a general read. I wasn't going to go here, but they lack what you want. But the Devil card is saying they don't lack what you think they lack. The Devil card next to the Five of Cups. Yep, Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, excuse me. It's the Five of Pentacles. I don't know if I've been referring to it as cups this whole time, because I think I have. Sorry about that. You think they lack what you want. And the Devil card is telling me you might be short-sighted about this. But you give in to them. The truth is, though, they don't lack what you want. It just seems like it. And that's the trick with the Devil card. Because it's the Devil card, it's another version of the Devil card, being very short-sighted, not seeing what's actually there, just seeing the superficial. Which, we all have those moments. But they're saying, the Devil card is saying you think they don't have what you want, so you're trying to negate it out. And that's kind of holding you back. But I'm getting they come forward very strongly, and you do give in. This person is going to have what you want. It's just you can't see it. Because it does seem to end well. It does end in a relationship is what I'm feeling. I don't know if you really see it for a while, though. Because I feel like you're kind of blown over by the emotions and you go with it. I don't know if you really see that piece that you're missing for a while. It might be a few months before you realize what you actually want is there. I feel like you're blown over by the emotion coming from this other person, and you do have romantic feelings for this person. It's just I feel like you were going to go the other way because you're like what you really want isn't there, but they just seem to impress you enough that you go forward with them. Still, maybe a few months before you see what you want. I'm getting that. Anything else? Alright, we're going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.